Alright, so the tires showed up. It's Cooper Discoverer STT Pros. They're 245/75/16s. Got 5 of them. Got a matching spare. I'm gonna go load them up real quick and get them over to the tire shop and get them mounted. So here's the final before. And we'll see what it looks like after. On the way to the tire shop. Fit perfectly. Alright. Got the new tires on. Got the spare back on the hood. Looking pretty good, I think. Definitely look a lot more like a tire should than those 20-year-old ones did. Again, I didn't bump up the size at all. I didn't want any scrubbing on at least this vehicle. Okay with the rest of them. I don't think a classic car needs to scrub though. That's pretty much it. Decent amount of ground clearance. That's how she's looking. Nice skinny looking tires to kind of match that old school look that these things had. People put real wide tires on them, but I'm not really sure why. I feel like it looks right to be a nice tall skinny tire on a Land Rover like this. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. It's about ready for the mountains. So another afternoon of preparation. I'm going through the Haynes manual here for the Series 3. Kind of gives you a decent picture of, you know, fill caps and drain plugs and all for this transmission. Again, the transmission on the later models, maybe you can see that or not. Yeah, so that's the later model transmission. Earlier model transmission. It describes the fill plugs. So front and rear diffs. I've done the front already. This is kind of the list I'm going down, trying to prep for the mountain trip this weekend. We've got front axles, steering relay, which I'm working on now. Done the front axles, done the steering box. Haven't done the rear axle. Haven't done the transfer case. Haven't done the transmission. Have done the swivel balls on the front axle. I've greased everything I could grease that would take it. And according to a comment earlier and what I can tell, the funnel right there goes to the overdrive, which apparently likes to leak pretty bad. So that'll be easy. That's what I'm saving to last. I'm gonna do the steering relay right now, which I've kind of started doing. You actually have to take the grill off. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but it's right back there. I can't see if you can see it or not, but it's just 4 screws. There's one there already taken out. There's one more right there, which I also took out. So, getting close. I'll show you guys what it looks like in a minute. And ooh. So that's the steering damper box that we're going to try to add some oil to. Horn, which doesn't work right now. There, looks like that digged up pretty good. Manual. So there's two. It looks like there's 2 different styles on the steering damper. One style will have the filler bolt right here on this flat surface, which there is no bolt. So the other style fills through these mounting bolts, I think there's 3 of them that go around, and I think any one of the 3 you can fill through. So that's what we'll try it out. It's a 5/16. That's not really gonna work. Yeah, 5/16. Got the steering damper full. So that's a 5/16 bolt on top here. You gotta take one of the other ones out too. It's easiest to get to this far one, because this one won't come all the way out without taking the linkage off. And obviously there's actually 4 of them. I spoke earlier. There's one right behind us. Oh, there too, but I don't know if you can see that. But anyway, took one of them out all the way as a vent. That's this one. Filled through this one on the front. Made a mess, but it's full of oil now. Alright, gonna put the grill back on to the next. But I guess the rear axle. I got just about finished up. Besides the overdrive. Front axles. The front axle has oil in it. It's been topped off. The whole front steering linkage has all been greased. Steering relay, or steering damper, that's been oiled. Didn't take that much. Does seem to have some sort of small leak though. Steering box, topped it off. It was fine though. Rear axle, topped that off. Transfer case was good. Transmission was good, or it did add a little bit, but it was pretty much good. Swivel balls on the front. Passenger side was fine. Driver's side was a little low, but not too bad. Greased everything besides the hubs. I can't figure out how to put grease on. It shows to, or it indicates greasing like from the outside where the hubcap would be, but there's nowhere to grease inside. About to do the overdrive now with the funnel. That'll be a 5-second thing, and that'll be that. Ready for the mountains. Oh, it's gonna be fun. You see here on my notes I took when I was kind of going through everything. You know, I had somewhere I read, 9/16 nut for the front axle, 7/16 for the steering box, 3/4 for the rear, half. All of those were wrong. Just so basically all I needed was an actually decent crescent wrench. To be honest with you, this DeWalt one's pretty darn good. Doesn't open up on you like every other one was, so I recommend spending a little bit of money on a decent crescent wrench, which I know adjustable hammer and all. I did literally almost every single thing besides the steering relay. I was able to do with this. Didn't round the head off or anything like that. They're all square nuts, so it would have been hard. I had all the sizes I needed pulled out. The only other thing I used was a 5/16. Actually, didn't even need the open end wrench. 5/16 socket for the steering relay. I couldn't really get this on it. That's the only reason. Other than that, everything was very simple. Took about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, because I was going slow. Doing this again would take no time at all. Now that I know where everything is, and just kind of the gist of it. Yeah, it's very simple, this Series 3 to maintain, which is good. I knew I was going to enjoy working on this thing. So in the process of adding fluids to this Land Rover Series 3, I am 1 quart down in adding fluid to the overdrive box, or gearbox. I'm seeing now why they added this easy fill option. Because she is, well, she was thirsty apparently. Let you guys watch the slow, mundane, like watching paint dry job that is slowly filling up an overdrive gearbox. well, I bought a gallon of gear oil for this thing, and we're in the last quart. Let's see if I got enough. Just bubbles. I have a feeling that gearbox was totally dry. And that's just about 3 quarts low. Oh boy. That's not a good sign. Alright, so got new windshield wiper blades on. Ordered them off Amazon. They were like 14 bucks. Super simple, 10 inches long. Clicked right on, which is fantastic because that was actually made that easier than a Discovery 2's windshield wiper blades, which you have to order and typically are not the right kind every time I've ordered them. Anyway, so this is actually very easy for a 50-year-old car. So getting ready for camping weekend. 2 cots, 2 chairs, 2 BB guns for some fun target shooting. Camp stove for a big dinner. 2 water jugs, 2 sleeping bags, spotting scope, see what we see, extra wool blanket. This is a box just full of Mountain House freeze-dried meals, like our camp kitchen box. This is our tent box. I don't actually bring that much stuff. I just very lazy, and I don't want to, at the end of a camping weekend, stuff a big tent into a very tiny bag that always rips. So I just started putting just my tent in one of these boxes. Makes it like a 5-minute thing, and it just looks a little bulkier than it actually is. And then this is shovel, and I'll end up fitting as much of the gear into these boxes as I can. And then the Land Rover Special box full of oils. Got motor oil, got a container to get oil into everything that possibly can, antifreeze, hydraulic fluid. Should have just about everything we need. And the good old Jägermeister cooler with the pressure washing, but should be pretty interesting trying to get all this stuff into this thing, plus 2 people and 2 dogs. Let's see how it goes. So before I close up the back and get it back rack loaded up, this is as good as I could come up with. So we got more water than we probably need for 2 nights, but with the dogs, we're gonna have them on the trail running a lot. I have plenty of water for them. I'm not sure what it's gonna be up there for them drinking this than some dirty puddle water. But they should still have, we're gonna load them through the front. Look at that lower there. So they should have plenty of room. Look, you know, it looks pretty good. I went a little crazy with the bungee cords and stuff, but I didn't want these falling over on them or sliding around where we're going. It's just annoying to have to stop and get the stuff off the dogs, and obviously bothers the dogs. But anyway, that's pretty much what we got. All that stuff is fitting pretty well. I got the 2 cots down here underneath the platform. Got 2 chairs. Got the no parking brake wedge. Some jumper cables back there. So yeah, I've still got plenty of room for other odds and ends. You know, groceries and stuff. So that'll actually be very handy. I wish there was a better way to be able to open the door on and off without the having to take the hitch off. I guess I could lower it, but I don't know, that wouldn't, I don't think they'd give me enough. Wish that stuff was on it, obviously. Well, we can close it up, load the back rack up, and see what it looks like. So this is it. It's a little Clampett-esque. I mean, there's some play in the hitch, obviously, but I don't see that stuff going anywhere. That's not tightened down much. The cooler is empty. Trying to give myself an idea of how this is going to work. Overall, though, I think it worked pretty good. The dogs have room. Got plenty of room back there. We so far have a pretty decent amount of room up front here. I think we're getting pretty close to ready to go. 6 a.m. can't come soon enough.